two of them that got up and spoke were, I mean, it was kind of a tearjerker because they were like down and out and really just didn't feel like they were worth anything. The staff and the folks and the programs they have over there has just lifted them up, and they were cheerful and happy, and you know, they all spoke about the fact that all the kids there treat each other as if they're their own siblings, and the staff is kind of like their parents. So it sounds like that's really doing what I think all of us was hoping they would do. That's my update. Anybody else have any updates on anything that you want to share?
Pub show, last time ever. Ever. January, no, not January, what are we in?
July.
20th. Monday night, 7 o'clock.
Is the last one?
Don't
This coming
never say
Monday?
ever.
Huh?
This coming Monday's your last one? There is one more?
No, heck no, and dang yes. There is no other one. That's it.
Dave, never say never.
I do. I always lie too, but I still say never.
Oh, did it go over good? I'm sorry, I couldn't.
Yeah, it went fine.
Anyway.
The first one was a lot of fun. It was more fun to see the kids that were doing the puppets.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, that.
They
that-
got
that's
into it.
fun.
They were practicing a lot
Yeah,
beforehand.
it was fun. But the fun's over. Got all the fun I can stand.
Okay. Anyone else?
I do,
Go
but
ahead.
usually Bettina knows.
I got some, but it's fine.
So, got two things to report on. Actually, go with open doors first. The previous board member representing Layton City resigned, is my understanding. And they've elected me as their new board member. Thanks, Julie.
Appointed.
So,
Appointed. Clarify.
They had a meeting yesterday. They did have a really nice donation of $150,000 that they recently got in. They're working on a bunch of different things. One thing I found interesting that they kind of went over is a board member playbook that they're developing to kind of give guidance to, like myself, new board members, how the board members can help open doors, get their message out, market their programs, not necessarily come up with donations, but introduce other people in the community to open doors. And I found that very interesting. The other thing I have to report on is on Tuesday this week at this Planning Commission meeting, Mayor Petrov attended that one and showed her appreciation for the work that those commissioners do, and handed out the Layton City coin, which
On behalf of everyone.
but she actually educated me and the council members on all the meanings on the coin, which I found that very interesting, because some of it I kind of knew, but a few of the other things I found quite interesting. So, but that's all I have to report right now.
I have one from CTC. I'll announce it tonight as well. But on next Wednesday, July 29th, I believe that's next Wednesday, we will be hosting the Teen Brain Science. It's a parent workshop that helps to understand like the teen brain and how things work and why maybe they don't do the things you tell them to do when you tell them to do it, and all kinds of other things. Yeah, husbands, kids, fill in the blank. But it's a really interesting workshop. It's actually going to be held here, and it'll be in our council chambers at 7 p.m. We have about 20 folks registered already, which is
good.
really great.
That's really good.
Registration is still open though, so I'll have some flyers out there that I'll announce, and hopefully more people can show up. We'll have some toolkits for each family, and there also is a raffle at the end that will give a free family pass to our service stuff. So I'm excited for that. And
You ought to open it up to wives
it's open
for
to
their
everybody.
husband. For their husband.
Yeah.
'Cause that's about as far as a husband gets as junior.
It's open. It's open. Wives, husbands,
As long as you
teens,
can read the list, that's all that matters.
even kids who aren't yet, older, under 12,
Yeah.
all the way. So anyway, it's just a good workshop, and this is our pilot to see kind of how it goes over, and we're hoping that it'll be really good, and we'll be able to start offering this ongoing.
It's a good program. You've done really well with that. Appreciate it. Good. Anything else in reports? All right, let's go on then to item number 3 on our agenda, and I know Steve Jackson, you're going to be presenting this one on the interlocal agreement in Layton City and Davis County.
Thanks, Mayor. Council, it's good to be with you tonight. For consideration is this interlocal cooperation agreement with Davis County to improve Gentile Street. So about a year ago, we started working with the county. They approached us and asked us what we could do about the roadway around Valley View Golf Course. So Gentile Street, as you're aware, East Gentile is pretty narrow still, and it's got a bunch of dirt along the edges. And anyway, golf course patrons park in the dirt, and they have big events and then parking in the dirt, and we've got people using the reservoir parking in the dirt. And, so anyway, we had a big discussion with them, and a good discussion. We indicated that we had some water line and sewer line improvements that needed to happen as well, and so we worked to accelerate those in our plan, because they were not this year but next year, and so we moved ours forward, and then they agreed to fund a lot of this roadway project portion for us. And so this project entails 2,800 feet of sidewalk and roadway improvements along East Gentile from this western, if I can get the mouse to work, right about here where the Razorback, called the Razorback, is. The road narrows up really quick right here, but from this point all the way up and around to where UDOT finished the improvements when they did the 89 project. So we're planning to put curb gutter on both sides of Gentile Street. There will be a 10-foot sidewalk along the Valley View Golf Course that will connect to the sidewalk where UDOT ended up here. There will be a 6-foot abutting sidewalk in front of the home that's right there. And then we'll have a 10-foot wide, we'll have 12-foot wide travel lanes all the way along Gentile Street with an 8-foot shoulder along the Valley View Golf Course. So people will be able to park along the road without parking in the mud and things like that, and then either use the golf course or the reservoir without having to traverse the mud pits and the erosion that's caused problems along the roadway as well. So there is 1,240 feet of storm drain improvements that need to happen. I failed to put that. It's 15-inch storm drain that needs to go in there. 1,900 feet of 8-inch water line, 3,000 feet of 12-inch water line for one of the master plan projects. Is we're running that larger 12-inch water line, and then 12-inch sanitary sewer along that stretch of road to accommodate the future growth that's planned for that town center and some of the other developments that have been going in. And then there will be 15 street lights along that 10-foot sidewalk as well that will light that area up. So the total authorized roadway expenses are $1,990,000. So Davis County is participating with 80% of that at $1,592,000. And so the city's contribution would be just under $400,000 for that 20%. And then we've agreed that all work would be completed on or before December 31st of next year. The other item on the council meeting is actually the bid award for this project with Landmark Excavating. And so we did receive 9 bids for that, and the bid for Landmark came in at $2,679,430. So, Dave, you look like you have a question for me.
Not for this.
Oh, okay.
I just had, when you say Gentile, I never think of this as Gentile.
Yeah,
This
you
is
think it should
East
go straight.
Gentile.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask about the bottom of East Gentile.
Oh, that
Rough
road?
spots.
The one
It's
down
super
at,
rough.
the
Yeah.
one down at the bottom, yeah, that's on our list. There's some water line work down there that we're planning as well to get that taken care of. So,
I was thinking of Oak.
Oak
You're
Hills
thinking
Drive.
Oak Hills
Oak
is
Hills where it
Gentile.
goes
Oak
up.
Hills and Gentile, the intersection down there.
Well, not this, no, from where it goes from Oak Hills east up to those homes, there's no There's kind of a little path on the one side, but there's no curb and gutter ever.
No, there's the path on the north side.
On the north
Yeah,
side,
north
yeah,
side.
there's like an asphalt. Will we ever do anything there, or?
So
will
that's
it take
actually
state?
UDOT's road, it's
Oh,
their
is it?
state
Oh,
road,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Someday, I think long range, it would be widened out, but
Yeah.
but right now it handles the traffic.
Yeah, okay,
It's
no,
just-
yeah, I just had a person ask me, and I said, I don't think we own that, but I'm not sure, so.
Yeah, no, UDOT owns it. We actually worked with them to install that trail along the north side.
Did you?
so that we could get up and down.
I just one thought. This part right here is when you got the trees. See how it juts in like that?
Yeah.
Those trees right there get in the way of when you're coming south. So anyway, if someone's not paying attention going north, you're coming, you don't know, you can't see very well.
Okay, we'll take a look at that.
If you just take a look at that,
Yeah.
that's
And your red
or a
lines
deer.
are what pipe?
So the red lines is the storm
Yeah, it
drain.
gets-
We've
That
got-
go
we've got-
in.
Yeah, there's storm drain that'll catch the water coming off of this, and then we've got a couple of places where the storm drain discharges into the reservoir already, and then we've got the water lines run, and the sewer line will run down here to about this point, and then the water line, the larger water line will run all the way down to the end. And then the 8-inch water line will pick up where the 8-inch ended here and replace the 6-inch that's Meta service line.
What?
And then
That's
we're gonna
something,
have,
but why wouldn't you complete the sidewalk down to the house?
the sidewalk, so this,
On-
they're,
On the
North side.
On the north side.
on the north side,
Goes down.
this will require a lot of grading and retaining wall work, and so
Oh,
we're working
okay.
with Joellen to, because it's a 10-foot sidewalk, we're trying to take that all the way west, so that'll be a different phase that we'll work
Okay. I
on.
just-
And the 10-foot sidewalk's basically a trail system.
It's
trail
part of
system.
Joellen's master trail
Yeah.
system as well.
How long of disruption do you think on those homeowners there in front on the south side of the road? Because that's such a narrow road anyway.
Yeah, we're hoping that it's gonna be November before we're finished,
So once the
obviously,
golf
but-
courses
Yeah, well. so-
might be closed?
Well,
kind of
we're
weather?
anticipating that they want to start the 3rd of August is when we're planning to have the construction. So the contractor's just going to have to work with the homeowners and people to get them in and out, but there will be some traffic disruption. And it's nice now that we have the Gordon interchange, people can come down from the top if this ends under construction or come up from the bottom as well, so.
And those homeowners will be notified then
Yeah,
of what's going to
yeah,
take place?
that's part of
Yeah,
what
okay.
we're-
That's more of what I'm concerned
Yeah,
about.
we're
So sorry.
preparing all those notices, and we've been working closely with the golf course. They have a big event the weekend of the 31st and the 1st, and so the 3rd is the prime time to start, where it's not going to impact that big event. so.
Cool.
That's good.
All right,
Any other questions, you guys?
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Weston, you get to go next. It's on our rezone request, so.
Here before you tonight is a rezone request for a parcel that's just off of Gordon. So it's this small section here. So if you've gone up there and seen that, you can't see it because it's behind the fence. It is encompassed within this family's lot. This little piece was a part of the school district's property, and when the city purchased this property through CBDG funds, obviously that little tail came with it. It's small enough, it's insignificant, and really can't be used by anybody else. And so they are the applicant, they're requesting the rezone. So that zone matches theirs, so it's currently ag, and they're asking it to go to R110, so it can match their existing property. If this moves forward, they would then go through the process to request to purchase this property from the city, and then go through the process to do a plat amendment to incorporate that into their property. They've been really great to work with, and have been going through the process, and we've explained all the different steps that they need to take, and they've been amenable to take all those steps.
Any questions on this?
Yeah,
What?
you got a little triangle next to it.
Yeah.
Are we on that?
That's owned by them.
What's the line then?
It is split up into a separate parcel. and they're gonna clean that up too. So there's this triangle here. They own that, this
Well,
owner
yeah.
owns it, and they own this
But
piece
they
here.
own that little piece there. too.
And so this is the last little piece they need to bring
okay.
in, and then it's a part of their plat amendment. They'll clean all of that up
Okay.
and get it aligned correctly.
So it'll only be one.
Yeah.
Okay.
They worked out an agreement with the neighbor there to the west, or is they, because according to that plot line, it's where the white line is, not necessarily the other line.
We haven't, this here.
Yeah, I
we
know
haven't-
it's not our deal.
Yeah, we haven't talked to them about that.
Yeah.
But it'll likely come up as we're reviewing the
Yeah.
plot amendment.
Any other questions?
Okay, thank you.
Very simple. Thank you. Okay. Let's go on to the fireworks discussion.
Hey,
Turn it over to the chief.
well, Mayor and Council, thank you for having us tonight. Got myself and our new fire marshal here, Gavin.
Yep.
So, he's officially taken over. A couple things we just wanted to talk about. As you know, I've been blowing up your emails a little bit lately with council briefs on some of the events that we've had over the last week and a half. And so just wanted to touch base with little things and then talk about the upcoming shoot period that's going to be there. First of all, just to tidy up the 4th of July, PD and fire had 38 complaints of fireworks. Most of them were unfounded by the time we have the opportunity to get there. Most of them are unfounded, and but we did issue four different citations at different times. A couple of them were tied to fires. The night of the 4th of July, one of our brush crews was out checking for a firework that they saw, and they walked up on a brush fire and found a gentleman shooting out over South Weaver. So anyway, we were pretty busy, right? And we had some really good interactions with folks. We had some not so good interactions with folks. We were called a lot of names. And if you go around and look at some of our signage, they've stickered our signage with some political, I don't know which one I say. I think they've called us fascists and communists and things like that. So anyway, but that's okay. We made it through. As far as the upcoming shoot period, as you guys know, the governor issued an executive order. That executive order won't expire until July 25th. But the executive order itself did not ban fireworks in the state. It eliminated a statute or set aside a statute, right? I keep blowing that word. I don't remember exactly what it's called. It sets aside the statute to allow the state forester to issue a ban of fireworks in municipalities. It basically gives her the authority to do it statewide versus just on state lands. And so that executive order doesn't end until the 25th. So Jamie Barnes, the state forester, her order banned fireworks from July 2nd to July 5th. That time is now passed. And we are not in an illegal shoot period. So currently, unless they do something, our fireworks map will resort back to this. This is what we've approved for the fireworks in our ordinance right here. This is the Fairfield Road area where we have no aerials, the orange, and this is east of 89 where we have no fireworks, period. As you know, that this is what we did for the 4th of July. We banned fireworks everywhere east of Fairfield Road, and a couple of these other spots you had see, those are the county areas. We didn't want someone showing up to J&J or out west and thinking because we didn't ban it, they could see it there. So we just incorporated, that's the Love Lane area up there. This is J&J, and then a couple of the little small parcels out west. And then we cleaned up the West Davis corridor. If the governor and the state forester come out and do something, which I don't know when that's going to happen, if it's going to happen. I don't have any contacts at the league. The league has, I have talked to the other fire chiefs in the county, and they've heard whispers that the governor is waiting until after this weekend to see what kind of storms or what water drops, whether he's going to do anything or not. There's another chief that heard that it might be within the next 48 hours. that they're gonna issue something. Either way, if they issue something, we go back to doing, if they issue the same thing, which I don't know why they wouldn't, in my opinion, this is my opinion. If it was bad enough on the 4th of July, we haven't had any moisture since then. It's only gotten hotter. It was 109 degrees on Sunday. You know, the wind's blowing. It's not getting any wetter. It's the humidity is good. The RH factors are way down. It's the same thing. If they don't do anything, then we need to do something. My recommendation is that we, based on the fires that we've had, the weather we've had, is that we keep our current, what we did for the 4th of July, and just keep the entire fireworks off east of 89, or east of Fairfield. Just, we already have our signage up. Our police officers and our CRR folks went, put up 250 flyers in businesses up on the east side and throughout town to try to educate people that this was going to be our map. I'd hate for us to have to go back and redo all of that. We did have some success. Again, we got called some names, but we did have some success. So this is what I am recommending that we do for the 24th shoot period, whether the governor does anything with it or not. And the only hiccup in our plan is if the governor doesn't do anything, we need to work through legal, that there's a part in our ordinance that states that the fire chief during times of adverse fire and hazardous environmental conditions may review information regarding weather conditions, moisture content, and is it hereby authorized to exercise discretion based thereon in the protection of health, safety, and the welfare of the public to prohibit the ignition or use of all fireworks. So what I'm recommending is that whether the state does it or not, that we do that in our city based on that ordinance right there.
I personally think that's a very good map, and I would like to see us use that even going forward, regardless of what the conditions are next year or the year after, because that's a clear-cut line that's easy to comprehend and people can understand it.
Yes. Our staff has evaluated that, and we're not opposed to doing that.
It's always nice to start something and keep it instead of change it.
It over the years when we had the other map,
Right.
it took a few years for people to understand it, but we were getting good compliance, and then we changed it. It might take a few years to get this, but this is an easy, clear-cut map. There is no questions. A police officer, the code enforcement officer, one of us drives up there and we see something, we know that it's not supposed to be being shot
That's
there.
right. No, I like it.
Chief, do you feel that, so you've got the ordinance that you just talked with Jade about, but next year, when you have to submit the map to the state, however that map, you think this will fly with that?
Yes, it will. This won't have anything to do with the wild and urban
Right.
interface, which is what we had, which is when the state might have been questioning it,
Okay.
had to question us with that. We, by the Utah code, and 53, whatever I told you earlier today, by the Utah code, we have to submit our fireworks map by June 1st of the next year for the next time. We can make this our map and our restrictions for the whole city. We'll just have to change our ordinance to reflect such, because in our ordinance, it has what it is now, which is everything east of 89 and all aerials east of Fairfield with that whole thing. We will have to change that part to reflect this.
Yeah, it's good.
And that would have to be put in place when?
Before June 1st is what
Just before June 1st of next year.
27.
of 2027. We will have to come back and do this, something we've done similar, and suggest this is where our new fireworks map is going to be, and actually put it into ordinance to do
But
that.
if you're going to do that, the sooner the better. I mean, if you wait till June, because that's your due date, your drop dead
Oh,
date.
yeah.
Yeah, get it done early enough so people know
We
if
can
they go
change,
buy fireworks.
Well, they can buy fireworks starting right now. They can buy fireworks right now.
Oh, yeah.
And then they'll go back on sale for the New Year's, and I don't know when Chinese New Year is, but they'll sell them again, a few there. But we usually do this in April or May-ish or something like that. That's enough time. And quite frankly, I think that will also give any potential vendors that want to put up a tent plenty of time to decide whether they really want to do it or not, because that has been a consideration that I've thought about. I did go and visit 3 different tents in our city. One that had sent me 3 different web feedbacks, and then a couple others I just kind of randomly stopped in on. They obviously weren't happy, but they were respectful and understood it. But they would like to know sooner than later.
You would be good, I don't know if that's the right word, but it would be good to have it done before school's out. I don't know how the Davis School District, because they have been allowing people to sell fireworks on their school property. And so if you got to them before school's out, if they're still, I don't know when they meet and all that stuff. But that way, if you're gonna ban it, you know, in certain areas, you know, I mean, I hate to have somebody selling fireworks in an area that we ban them, you know.
That actually used to be a state law where you couldn't sell fireworks in places that the city did it, but that changed a while ago. So
anyway,
if they choose to. But anyway,
that's another way. I mean, another thing to help the people not do what they're supposed to.
That is going to be our recommendation, and without any guidance or direction from the state, we're you know, if it comes out one way or the other, we're planning on announcing that on Monday.
It's good.
So,
Or
is
right
there
now, 'cause
any?
we're live.
What's that?
I said, or right now, because we're live.
Well, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
So,
I will say that one thing I like about the updated map that we just used is highlighting those areas that are not city areas, but still are in areas where people are not supposed to shoot fireworks, just because I think it just makes it more clear. And so they can't look at a map and say, oh, well, this is, you know, we can do it here, but look at all of that, you know, brown grass or whatnot. So I just think anything to make it as clear as possible is the best way to go. And like you said, people are going to be mad, and we understand that, but I don't think that anybody wants to play around with safety. So, yeah, I agree.
Just the section that you mentioned, the code, says a municipality may prohibit the discharge of fireworks we're talking about in certain areas with hazardous environmental conditions. And then, so that's what we're talking about. And then below, it says that if a municipality, legislative body, or the state forester provides a map to a county identifying an area in which the discharge of fireworks is prohibited due to a historical hazardous environmental condition. And it talks about having that done before June 1st. We're prepared to say, yeah, this area, historical environmental, was a historical hazardous environmental condition.
yes,
That's the basis of it.
we have historical fires in that area, east of 89, Case Creek Drive, or Case Creek Parkway, and other places. We've had historical fires that, once it gets into the scrub oak, we're hustling. So, any other questions or concerns? Anything I can follow up with?
Yeah, I have a question. I'm going to bring up our fireworks show. We've done a good job, and I'm curious, would we be looking at entertaining or looking at suppliers, different suppliers or anything like that? The only reason why I question that is because, you know, we should have thought of this ourselves, but certainly knowing the significance of this past 4th of July, I know that there was a lot of other areas that had some pretty cool fireworks that were related to the America 250, and I know ours was, we had a good show, but I'm just curious.
So, one of the things that happened last year, and I'm not sure if I brought it to this group or not, when we in 2025, we had a very large shortage of fireworks that we were shorted for our show. They didn't bring any 5-inch shells, and they left out a few 4-inch shells from our show. They just couldn't get them. And so they owed us, our fireworks vendor owed us about $25,000 worth of shells. So our $60,000 show that we shot, we got it for that price. Because it was the American 250, I asked him, instead of giving us our normal show for this, I asked him if he could just add everything we didn't get for last year. We are space limited on what we can shoot from where we can shoot it. We could not add more racks. We can't add bigger shells. And in fact, one of the things that is concerning us a little bit is that the radius needed for 5-inch shells encroaches a little too much on the high school, which is why they're named in our thing. And so we're actually thinking about taking out the 5-inch shells and just going with a lot more 4-inch shells. So we couldn't have done that this year. I actually asked about it, and our vendor said, you don't have the room.
Okay, that's fair.
You don't have the room to get the fallout zone and the safety areas that we have. We've already pushed them back halfway to the soccer field. We don't let them in the football stadium, you know, over to where we're at the fire station, that entire practice baseball field, softball field, and the parking lot. And then we push them over to the park a little bit. So we can't go, we could not have added any more shells into our show. So trying to maximize what we have in the space that we have provided.
Is that why Kaysville moved their show from Davis High to
Barn?
Barnes?
I didn't know that they had moved it. I don't know that.
I don't know how many years ago, but
But
used to be
they,
at Davis High.
yeah.
Part of the problem was burning
Yeah,
the ash coming onto the football field, because it's turf. And
they cover it.
yeah, I think they got rid of their tarp.
Yeah, we help parks cover
Right.
cover the big
Yeah.
chunk of that football field for that reason, because of
Right.
the fallout zone and stuff like that. So where we shoot, we are very limited with what else we can do.
Okay, that's good to know, because I mean, you know, we could ask these questions, and that's why I'm bringing it up.
I was asked the same question, so have we evaluated other areas within the city to do the fireworks show?
I have not. I would not know where we could pull this off with parking, traffic in and out. The only spot, and it's not a good one, is you know where I'm
Yeah.
talking?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we have too much at risk out there.
We have way too much at risk out there. We also have very limited traffic in and out. I mean, those of you that were at the park and were there until 11:30 is trying to get out of there. I don't know of a spot where we could go do this.
That's the area that they recommended, and I'm just thinking, okay, traffic, got the train tracks, you got still agriculture in the
Well-
area. I'm just going, nope, in my.
One of the things that concerned me this year was all the wheat that hadn't been taken off. You know, and you know better than I do when they do that. July 4th, it's still sitting there, and so like I just don't think that's a good idea.
You don't want to know what it costs me to insure a crop of wheat for fireworks. It's an extra rider on top of the
Okay.
crop insurance.
Well, I don't.
Don't consider it wheat, consider it chocolate chip cookies, and you can ask Tyson Roberts to explain that to you.
Okay, all right. Well, we have not evaluated anywhere else. I do know that had the high schools, this happened before I became the chief, had the high schools construction, the new construction, had it been moved over to the other side and put in the parking lot over there, and they moved parking over here, that would now no longer be a viable option for us. So we're lucky that the high school allows.
Hidden gem for us then.
But we're lucky that the high school allows us to do it, because if they build any closer, that will limit us even more. So,
That's good.
but anyway,
We do appreciate everything you guys did. I mean, seriously.
our show was very much a success. Out of 7,000 shells, there was only 30 that didn't fire. That's a huge win in a fireworks show.
Cool.
All right. Any
Didn't
other
even
questions?
notice.
Neither did I, but he did, because he counted every one of them.
I want a refund.
Yeah, so,
30 of them.
anyway, any other questions for fire? Okay, we will proceed that way and see what the state does.
Okay, well, thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually the last item on our agenda for the work meeting. So do you guys have anything else you want to discuss? Otherwise, we can,
I'd like to make a comment, and for the fire too. I had a lady move back to Layton. She's been gone 15 years. And now she lives in the 50 and older, across from Layton High, right on the parade route. And she said, so she got up, went out, and watched the parade. She couldn't believe the way the parade ran. She says, I've attended parades all over the nation in the year she's been gone, and she says this was the most taken care of parade she's ever seen. She says the police, not only did they keep people back, but they were kind. And she says, I didn't see the fire department leave, because sometimes you guys get calls. But she says the parade just ran great. Of course, she mentioned the ice cream, never saw that either, but I saw that. Yeah.
It was there.
But anyway,
one and done.
she was just saying that she's never seen a parade run as smoothly without all, the kids running all over hell, and stuff like that. And she thought, whoever's in charge of that, you need to let them know. So,
That'd be
Yeah.
Dave and.
Well, I think it's a full team effort on
Yeah,
behalf
it's
of the entire
definitely a full
city.
team.
It really is. It's everybody's taking a valuable part, and you guys all work collectively together. That I guess what he's trying to say, and I've heard it too, is that really Layton City does a good job there. So thank you to everyone. To be putting you guys for your help too. I mean, that was it.
That was fun.
It was your first.
It was fun. Went home, took a nap after that. so.
Right? I got two things. One that I forgot to mention. Not for fire.
Thank you, guys.
Probably maybe 2 months ago, and I need to double check on this, but the principal over at Northridge, Tyler Paul, asked me about, when you go to cities and the high schools, most cities just have the one, right? We've got two, well, more than two, but the city high schools sometimes have little banners, kind of like on Main Street, showing like school pride and things like that. And so he asked, he was like, what would I have to do to approach the city about something like that on like one of the main streets, maybe for Northridge, maybe on Hill Hill, and for Layton High on Wasatch here. And he said that he would get with the principal at Layton High. But I think I told him to send an email. I don't remember all the details, but I thought I better bring that up because people say stuff all the time and I forget, and I didn't want to be negligent. But just a way to show school pride in our city with our schools that we have. And so I don't know who he would need to go to, but just thought that might be an idea. He said that was something they could work on, but wanted to know from the city standpoint if that was something that the city would be open to.
and that'd be on their property.
So like, how,
yeah.
for example, like you go to a small town, you've got a Main Street, and they
Oh, yeah.
have like
Sure.
a flag or a banner.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm trying to remember when I saw them last. It was some special occasion and I saw them in a city, just like banners flying, or maybe Davis
Right.
Arts Council wanted
Oh,
to
I
have
see.
banners out.
Yeah.
It was just on the light poles, but they were just thinking about ways
They
to,
designed that way, like they hang the banners. and let-
yeah.
The
So
Layton
it would
City
either
poles
hang-
are.
Yeah.
The others.
The old ones, yeah, the old ones don't. But that was just something I wanted to bring up out loud because I forget things. And then the other thing was, and I think we all got this, but we get those emails from Wasatch Front Regional Council, and they have their open house for their transportation improvement program. And the reason I thought to mention it is because it's open to the public, for the public to see what kind of transportation improvement they're proposing. And on next Tuesday, from 4:30 to 7 at the Raptors Ballpark in Ogden, they're having an open house for the public to see and talk about, you know, ask questions. They're also having a virtual one that you have to register for. But I thought that might be helpful for anybody who may be watching and wanting information on
Those are good. Have input. Help.
it. Because people are always like, when did that happen? What is this? What's going on? And we're like, oh, it happened, you know, months and months ago, but people don't know. And sometimes our emails get buried. So.
Which kind of the follow-up on Bettina, the work that we're going to do up on East Gentile. I know you mentioned you're going to reach out to the residents, but do you do any reaching out to the public and just announcing that this project's going to be coming either in our utility bureau's website, any of our account?
Yeah.
When do you do that? After the council approves?
Yeah, once the
Okay.
council has officially approved it and we know a schedule, then we put that out there. We work with Madison down in management services to post that to our different social media platforms. It'll be on the city's website under our capital projects as well, so that everybody sees that.
To kind of follow up on that, do we do like an open house event yearly that says, hey, these are the road construction projects and actually that are being proposed or preliminary plans where the public can come if they want? Have we looked at ever doing anything like that? Similar to what I'm assuming they're going to do at the ball diamond. Do we do that?
Not necessarily on something like that. I mean, obviously during the budget process, we lay out all of those things. We have a utility meeting that we hold for all the utility companies to know what we're doing and things like that. But specific, yeah.
We've done the
Source
open
of
houses
public.
when we've had additions or major changes.
Major
Yeah, when we're
changes.
doing major changes to planning documents and things like that, and then we do send out project notices to individual homes along construction zones, so they get not only the name of the contractor, but also phone numbers and the people that they can contact if there's any questions or concerns.
The one that I'm kind of thinking of that maybe keep on our radar is at the all-day budget meeting, the one we're going to be boring under Hillfield Road and all that. That you would do something that there's going to be a lot of equipment there, hopefully at minimal impact to traffic, but people are going to be wondering what are they doing
Yeah,
there.
so we'll have some notifications and try to get that out there.
That's not this year's deal.
It's actually preparing to go to bid probably in the next 2 weeks, and then we're hearing possibly a 6-month wait for the contractors to be able to start pouring and stuff.
Construction next year sometime.
Well, we're hoping construction after the first of the year, after the shopping season, kind of for Christmas with the mall, and then they could possibly start out west by the Good Earth area over there as well.
Keep in mind Valentine's Day, so don't interfere with that holiday.
Yeah.
So, number 2 now, what is it? I can't remember. So.
Okay, anything else you guys want to talk about? Otherwise, we can adjourn and.
I make a motion that we adjourn the work meeting.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, sorry.
Just to comment on the Tina's question about banners, we don't have any ordinances that would prohibit that.
Okay.
And along Hillfield Road, the Northridge, for example, they would probably, they'd work with us, but also they can get permission from UDOT, because that's their corridor. But down here, we already have poles and banners, and I think it would just be a matter of coordinating with them how long they're gonna, who's gonna put them up and down, how long they're gonna be there, are they gonna be maintained? And we're working with the county on some similar types of issues up around the conference center, the mall. We want to do some signage, but I don't think there's any obstacles there in terms of doing that. So if we wait at certain times of the year.
Perfect, I'll let them know. I think, if I remember correctly, it might have been around homecoming and some other things.
Yeah.
Times when, rivalries are fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of
I'll let them know.
the conference center area, there's a big national BMX bike tour coming through. That's gonna be, actually, it's gonna be out in Syracuse, but luckily, they don't have any hotels, and we do. So, they're wanting to kind of just welcoming teams that go here, so.
When's that? I know I
August.
saw that.
It's in
actually.
August, I think, 8th?
Yeah, 6th through 9th.
6th through 9th,
through
yeah.
9th,
Yeah.
Yeah, so, that'd be kind of good, so, I guess, if you guys are around that area, just, help share a friendly face and welcome them all here, and let them know how much we enjoy them. Okay. Mike made a motion,
I seconded it.
Dave seconded, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Okay. I'd like to welcome everyone out to our Layton City Council meeting this evening for July 16th. Our start time is 7 p.m. We want to welcome all those that are in the audience. And as customary, we do like to start our meetings with a ceremony of a prayer and a pledge. And this month, I'm going to turn the time over to Councilmember Bloxham.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll offer the prayer and then we will go ahead with the pledge. Our Father in heaven, we're grateful for our many blessings. We're grateful to meet together as a governing body to discuss the needs of the citizens in our city, and we are grateful to live in a community of freedom, and we're grateful for the agency we have to do the things that we want to do, and we're grateful for the freedoms that we enjoy. We ask you to please bless our members of our public safety, public works, and all those who work for the city, that they can be blessed for their service. We ask for thy spirit as we discuss these issues, that we may come to the conclusions that thou would have us come to. And we say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you, Councilman. I guess we'll go, before we get going, actually I'd like to introduce a special guest we have here on the dais with us, which is a member of our youth council. And so tonight we have Brody Hegsbeth that's with us. And so I'm going to turn some time over to him, let him speak. But I also want to acknowledge the fact that, Brody, I think you're probably our youngest member as well. So congratulations on that. So, Brody.
Hello. Sorry.
Yeah, you can, if you want to stand up, you can.
Yeah, I'll
stand up.
So my name's Brody Hedgebeth. So I'm a member of Layton City Youth Council. So Layton City Youth Council is just a little group that we have. It's like a community service group almost. So that's what we like to do, and we help the community. We like to see problems and just help people. Recently, we actually just went to a camp named Ryla down at Wasatch Academy, and we learned a lot about like leadership and communication skills. So I thought that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you. We appreciate it. And as you mentioned, the Youth Council really is an extension of the existing council and the governing aspect, so they learn about that. But then at the same time, if you notice, they quickly picked up on the service part. And I know, Brody, you've been very instrumental in helping out, so thank you. Okay, council, I'll bring your attention to our first item of business, which is a set of minutes from the March 17th meeting. So does anyone have any corrections? If not, I'd entertain a motion to accept.
Madam Mayor, I move that we accept the minutes, approve the minutes for Layton City Council budget meeting held March 17th, 2026.
Very good. Do I have a second?
Second.
Say it loud.
I'll second that.
Thank you. It's been moved in second that we accept the minutes as written. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much. We'll move on to our municipal announcements. So, Council, I'll turn the time over to you for any announcements you might have.
Puppet show. Monday night, 7 o'clock in the amphitheater. It's the last one ever that I'm doing. So anyway, come on out and have some fun. It's about the 250th birthday. We got puppets, we got videos, we got all kinds of stuff. So see you there. Starts 7. Oh, what is it?
The July 24th festivities.
Oh, I forgot about that. Me of all people. Riders in the Sky will be there on the 24th at the amphitheater. Starts 7. And then afterwards, there'll be a light parade, which we always have, that runs up Wasatch. And that, so you can stay, you can come to the concert, and then when it gets dark, you can watch the festivities. It's a lot of fun. Concerts are riot. Riders have been here for 20 years. I don't know what it's been, but I've seen them every time, and they're a hoot. So, thanks.
Okay.
And there's a party after.
Yeah.
Don't forget the party.
That's the part, the light parade.
Disco party.
The disco party in the
Rotunda.
pavilion, the rotunda after.
Oh.
Dave leaves, apparently. But the rest of us have a fun time. I have one announcement for the Layton communities that care. I announced it last time, but on Wednesday, July 29th at 7, right here in our council chambers, we will be hosting a workshop for parents and teens and even preteens and those who are going to be teens called the Teen Brain. And it is a parent cheat code for behavior and healthy brain development. I have some flyers that are here for those of you who are in the audience and those who are online. You can register at tinyurl.com/theteenbrains. It's free. It's for everybody really just to understand brain development and teen behavior. We will have refreshments and we also will have a giveaway for a family pass to surf and swim. So I hope that everybody can register and come and attend, and this is going to be a fun time. That's all I have. Thanks.
Yeah, that's a good program, and it's good to kind of just learn even more than what you already know. Okay, anyone else have any additional announcements they'd like to share? Okay, seeing that there's none, let's go ahead and go down then to our citizens' comment portion of our meeting. So anyone who wishes to address this governing body, you're more than welcome to. Once again, step up to the mic, state your name and what city you're from. And I'll also remind you that typically we will not get into a dialogue, but certainly we will hear what you have to say, take notes, and make sure we get back to you on it.
Hi, my name's Irene Hill, and I know most of you. Layton City. I'm not saying I know this is true. I've just heard rumors, and I don't know because I've been looking into it a little bit more, but I'm sure we can discuss it after. That with the water bill, if you don't use the 6,000 gallons per month, that the extra goes to other entities, and I don't know how that all works, but I'm trying to figure all that out. And then I've been coming across people in my area that have been having difficulties with the house tax increase from the county, and I know you have no control over that. But then I also know that last meeting it was said the water bill is going up. So my concern is just the people that are like on a fixed income, if they're going to be able to afford it, because some of the people I've talked to are having to choose in between selling their house, paying their taxes, and eating. So I just thought I'd bring that up. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Irene. Okay, anyone else? Okay, seeing that there's none, we'll go ahead and move on then to our consent items tonight. We have 3 items that we'll be listening to, and as a reminder that once we hear all 3 items, then the council can actually act upon all 3 items in one single motion. So with that, I'm going to turn the time over to Mr. Steve Jackson to speak about an interlocal agreement between Layton City and Davis County.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. It's good to be with you tonight. For your consideration is Resolution 26-35, interlocal cooperation agreement between Layton City and Davis County regarding the Gentile Street 2400 East to 2600 East project. The city has been working with Davis County to improve Gentile Street. The city has some water lines and sewer lines that need to be installed. The county approached us and asked if there was anything that could be done about the frontage of the Valley View Golf Course along Gentile Street, because the roadway is fairly narrow and there's a lot of dirt area that patrons are parking in and other people using the reservoir. So we've worked together to submit a proposal to the county to seek assistance for some of the transportation part of the project, and so it includes 2,800 feet of sidewalk and roadway improvements with curb and gutter on both sides of the roadway, 10-foot sidewalk along the Valley View Golf Course that connects to the north to the trail system at Gordon Avenue, 12-foot travel lanes on Gentile Street with an 8-foot shoulder along the golf course for parking and use by the public to be able to access the reservoir or to patronize the golf course as well. There's 1,240 feet of storm drain improvements that need to be made with this project, 1,910 feet of 8-inch water line, 3,000 feet of 12-inch water line, and 2,000 feet of sanitary sewer, as well as 15 streetlights on the project. So the interlocal cooperation agreement is for the transportation roadway expenses portion of the project, which is $1,990,000, of which the county participation will be 80%, or the $1,592,000, and the city would contribute $398,000, or 20% of that authorized roadway expense. The agreement also requires the city to complete the work on or before December 31st of 2027, so next year. So with that, staff recommends the council adopt resolution 26-35 and authorize the city manager to execute the interlocal cooperation agreement between Layton City and Davis County. Are there any questions I can answer for the council?
Okay, council, do you have any questions?
Mayor, thank you, Mayor.
Go ahead.
Just curious, Steve, we've had projects in the city, 2700 West, over by the junior high with the improvements there, that the county has offered up the third quarter or the COG funds,
yes,
whatever that's called.
Third quarter transportation.
Is this one of those?
No,
this is different.
This is actually they call it the fourth quarter % county option sales and use tax. We call it our Prop 1 money.
Okay.
So it's more of a Prop 1 project funded system that they're using for this one.
Just curious. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Additional questions?
I don't have a question, but I am just grateful again, because for a project of this cost, for us to be able to get, sidewalk and some parking for 20% of the cost, that's amazing. My family and I, my nieces, my kids, my dad, we were up at Hobbs Creek earlier this week, as my dad is at least once a week. And so I'm excited to be able to have some parking for him and the rest of us who come along that curve. So just appreciate you all for reaching out to the different funding sources to be able to help, put important infrastructure in, for the city and for the residents. So thanks.
Thank you.
Sorry. Did you have a comment?
Sure. Agree with everything you said, Bettina. The question I had is, you mentioned it being a pretty narrow. We have on the pictures there was identifying where the improvements were going in, but there's nothing in terms of like any takings or anything. It's all just in the public utility easements that we're utilizing all these changes.
The portion in front of the golf course is all on current city right-of-way. We did purchase property from the property owner to the north of the golf course so that we could put in a 6-foot abutting sidewalk through that property, but we've negotiated all of that and everything's in place there.
Okay, thank you.
I got to tell you, frequently utilizing that golf course, I'm excited for this because I know how valuable the parking will be along there, but then more importantly than that is knowing that to the north, where this street is going to tie into is right into our town center that will be the future development there. So this just really kind of enhances that whole east side. So I'm excited about it. And I want to say thank you to the county, too, for stepping up and helping us on this, because I know it's a joint venture. I know they needed it done. And certainly, we adjusted our schedule to accommodate as well. So this is a prime example how two entities can work together for the betterment of the community. Did you have a comment?
I got a question for Steve.
Yep.
Next item talks about the construction bid on this, but the question I have for you is, of the 20%, I'm assuming Layton City staff will be the project manager overseeing the construction, inspecting the project. Is any of that 20% recoverable cost for us for our staff's time and wages and benefits?
We didn't ask for that as part of the project. We figured we were going to be designing the project at our own expense with the water lines and everything like that. So, I mean, technically we could do that, but the 20% cost is what we felt was very fair for what we're doing to design and project manage it and all that partnership with the county. So which is still good, which is fine. It's kind of we're the city is kind of in-kind donation. Do you have an estimated cost of what that would be? So what the city's actually putting towards the project besides the 20% of the construction cost? So the total bid is roughly $2.6 million, and I would estimate staff time we're probably at $20,000 or $30,000 with all the time we've spent, which is fairly normal for a project of this size.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I'm glad you're still there. You get to stay up for the next item, which is the bid award. So go ahead and proceed.
Thank you. So the bid award the next item is Resolution 26-36, which is the bid award for Landmark Excavating for the project Gentile Street 2400 East to 2600 East. This resolution authorizes the execution of the agreement between Layton City and Landmark Excavating for the project that was previously mentioned in the other item. It includes the installation of sewer, storm drain, water lines, manholes, asphalt, curb and gutter, sidewalk, conduit for street lights and associated items. 9 bids were received on the project, with Landmark submitting the lowest responsive bid in the amount of $2,679,430. The engineer's estimate was $3.5 million. Staff recommends that the council adopt Resolution 26-36 and award the bid to Landmark and authorize the city manager to execute the agreement for the project. Are there any questions I can answer on this one?
Any questions?
I guess my only question is, because the full project is a little bit more than what the county could pay or could provide to us, I guess what I'm saying, the 1.99 in the previous slide is different than the 2.6 in this one. So the city is going to be responsible for that remaining portion, is that correct?
Yeah, so the city budget for this last year included water line and sewer line money that we were going to pay for this project. So that's the difference there, is the county money only addresses the transportation side of things, and then the rest of it is coming from the city's funds in the water and sewer accounts that we have.
Awesome, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, I mean, I just think it's nice that we talk about the 20% that we had to pay, and then we see this whole project, and the engineer's estimate was like 50% higher than what we actually pay. So it's not just the 20%; it's that the bids came in a good clip, and so we get this project for really good funding. So it's awesome. So thanks for your work on that.
Very competitive bid this time.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. I believe that's it then.
Thank you,
Steve. Let's go on to item number C then, and I know Western Apolloni is going to address this, and this is the reappointment of our Planning Commission.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Before you tonight is Resolution 2630. This is the reappointment of Trevor Steenblick, Julie Pierce, Wesley Felice, Justin Wetworth, Scott Carter, and Brett Nilsson as regular members of the Planning Commission, and Chase Freebaron as an alternate member of the Planning Commission. We're grateful for the continued service of the Planning Commissioners. Mayor Petro has recommended the Council adopt Resolution 2630, confirming these reappointments. Staff supports this recommendation. Be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions?
It's not a question. I don't mean to keep speaking, but these gentlemen and gentlelady spend a lot of time of their volunteer hours doing work that we would otherwise have to do in terms of the council adding to our docket. So I just they aren't here, but I hope they can just know how much we appreciate their willingness to serve their community, and they do such important work. And we do, and I can just speak for myself that I take their recommendations very seriously, and I appreciate the work that they do in the process to work with staff and to work with the development community to ensure that we get things in planning the right way. So I just wanted to share my thanks to them for the time that they spend, that they could be doing with grandkids and going on vacations and spending time in other areas. And doing it in the Planning Commission can be hard work, and it can be difficult work, particularly if there's an issue that has a lot of public clamor, and I just appreciate their time. So just wanted to share that, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we discussed that in the work meeting, so yes, that was well thought of. Well said. Absolutely.
Weston, could you, for the benefit of the public and those who are watching, could you speak to what the Planning Commission term is, and also any rules around that, and then how appointments are made?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you. So a planning commissioner term, they can have 3 terms. Each term is 3 years. And they're appointed through the mayor and council. Those are applications that are submitted. So frequently we have positions that come out. There's 9 positions on the commission. There are 7 full-time planning commissioners with 2 alternates. Oftentimes what happens is once a full-time commissioner has exceeded their time, or they're ready to move on and work on other projects, we move an alternate up. That's usually been the case, but that's not always what happens. And we put applications out for new planning commissioners. We usually put those applications out for a couple months so we get a good pool, and then we interview them. And so usually every other year we'll at least have opportunities for commissioners to come about.
Okay. Anyone else?
Madam Mayor, thank you. I also want to, Planning Commission's hard, it's thankless. So I want to publicly thank these members of our community for their dedication, and these are reappointments, meaning they still want to do this. That's important. And so I congratulate each one of them, and wholeheartedly want to vote for their reappointment. And also the staff. There's a whole other meeting that happens just like this one, or similar to this one, that the staff has to staff and get ready for, and it's an important part of your process as well. And so thank you and Jaden and Brad and all the others that help with the Planning Commission meeting as well. It is needed. As Councilman Bloxham says, we take their recommendations seriously and appreciate their hard work, and yours as well. Thanks.
Appreciate that.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Council, that concludes our consent items, so I'll bring it back around to you for action.
Madam Mayor, I move that we approve Resolution 26-35, Resolution 26-36, and Resolution 26-30 as presented.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved in second that we adopt the consent items as presented. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much. We'll now move on to our public comment, our public hearing. And with that, prior to opening up the public hearing, we'll have Mr. Weston Apolloni again inform us of the information regarding the rezone request for approximately 2382 East, 1200 North.
Thank you again, Mayor and Council. Before you tonight is a rezone request to rezone the property from A agriculture to R110 single family residential. This is located at 2382 East, 1200 North. You can identify the parcel here on the map. It's the red area. It looks like it's connected to this property, which in fact it inherently is. If you visit the site, you can see that the fence has already been in place, and this is generally functioning as this person's property. This small piece was owned by the school district for some time. connected to that larger green piece next to it. The city acquired this section of ground, this agricultural section of ground, which came with this small little tell, which is about 533 square feet. The property owner of this residence has requested that this rezone come through. Their intention is to have the property rezoned to match their home's property, which again is R110, and then if that goes through, to then go through the process of a plat amendment to incorporate that piece into their parcel, so there's just one piece of ground instead of multiple parcels. As was discussed in the work meeting, there's several different parcels that are cut up through here, so all that would be corrected with that plat amendment if, again, this moves forward. On June 23rd, 2026, the Planning Commission voted unanimously to recommend to the City Council that you approve Ordinance 2622 for the rezone, subject to meeting all staff memorandums. Staff supports the recommendation of the Planning Commission. Be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, Council, do you have any questions?
Just one, thank you, Mayor, maybe one clarification. They would wanting to purchase this.
They would like to purchase it. That's correct.
Okay. Any other clarifying questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to open up the public hearing.
I make a motion, we open public hearing.
Okay. All right, I'll acknowledge that. At this time, if anyone in the audience wish to address this body regarding this single item as far as a rezone, you're more than welcome to. Once again, step up to either side of the podium, state your name and what city you're from. Okay, seeing that there's no comments, I'll go ahead and bring it back to the council for additional discussion. Should you not have any discussion, then I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing and take action on the rezone request. He's doing it all tonight.
Madam Mayor, I make a motion to close public hearing and adopt ordinance resolution 26-30. Oops, excuse me, 26-22.
Yes.
Ordinance 26-22.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. Being that this is a public hearing, I need to do a roll call vote. Councilmember Morris?
Aye.
Councilmember Calendranos?
Aye.
Okay, Councilmember Thomas?
Aye.
Councilmember Bloxham?
Yes.
And Councilmember Smith Edmondson?
Aye.
Okay, there you have it. The vote is unanimous. That concludes our item of business here on our agenda. If council, if you have no other further business, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Ooh, quick draw. I love it. Okay.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you very much. We appreciate everyone here in the audience, and we love to have our regulars there, especially the young'un out there. Thank you very much. And you guys have a lovely evening.